welcome back to the Euro circuit here in Valkenswaard, MXGP round 5, the MXGP of Europe. Just over the border of Belgium, into the south of Holland is where we are. Been coming here since 1974. 250s were the first Grand Prix to be held here. That was won by Sylvain Gabors. The Belgian Honor Suzuki, of course, he's now team principal at Rockstar Energy Suzuki World MXGP. We've had 47 Grand Prix staged here, if you count MX1 and 2, MXGP and MX3 as individuals. But this will be, what, the 29th year that we've actually been coming back here. Motocross of Nations was held back here in 1991 as well. That gives you an idea as to where we are. Now, despite not winning a Grand Prix in 5 attempts, Tony Cairoli sits 1 point off the World Championship lead. A position currently occupied by Clément de Sales, who has also yet to win a GP in 2015. Max Nagel, though, he has the best strike rate with 3 wins from the last 4. But his off day in Thailand, where he surrendered the red plate, keeps him second, keeps him level points with Tony Cairoli as well. And what about Ryan Villapoto? Well, after his spectacular get-off, Ryan Villapoto slipped to 6th place. And he will not race here this weekend. I think we all seen the crash a week ago in Trentino, damaged coccyx and all the rest of it. But the rookie sensation, Romain Febvre and Gauthier Paulin, well, they're starting to find their feet in this year's campaign. Be interesting to see how they go. Well, if you are joining us for the first time, let's take a quick look at our GoPro track preview.
Philip Engstrom, number 11, 24 MX Honda.
Tony Cairoli, riding for Red Bull Factory KTM, world champion, and number 222.
Tony Cairoli and Philip Engstrom then heading down the start straight here at Valkenswaard through the left-right chicane and down through the sweeping left-hand turn over the first of the camelback jumps. Then it tightens up through here. It becomes a little bit of a bottleneck. First to the right, then the left, then out to the right again, and start heading out as the track widens. Over one slight crest, but there are 3 big rollers through this part of the racetrack. Cairoli smashed the wheel through here last year, and that forced him to sit back and allow the win to go to Gauthier Paulin in that first race, of course. Up over the Monster Energy stepper, onto the highest point of the circuit before swinging left and dropping back downhill for the first time. Very big braking bumps down there now. Also through here on this bottom, under the bridge. Riders picking their front wheel up, wheeling through here. That is just a world of pain for the riders. And even the first wave on the uphill now is starting to deteriorate quite badly. Lots of square edges on the ruts. The riders been getting caught out all weekend long through there. The long off-cambered left-hander right in the main spectator area eventually levels out onto this flat 180 right. Second, third gear coming out of there, maybe even third on some of these machines. Over the bridge jump and then down the back straight. Over the Monster Energy double, another double jump into this 180 left. This is where Gauthier Paulin crashed last year, of course. This used to be turn 2 because the start straight used to be to the rider's right. There used to be a tabletop along that back straight and a series of different waves, but right now it's just one single halfway down the straight, a single into the right-hander, and then we exit there over the Ippon step down, about 20, 22 meters, something like that. This is the final corner, the run up towards the finish line at least. Double through here enables you to get over this, a triple. And then it's the Monster Energy finish line jump. But the riders aren't done then because they land over the tabletop, go left, right, left through the chicane, down into the final turn, and they rejoin on the start straight to complete the lap here at Valkenswaard.
Here injured Kevin Schreiber as well. You just heard Kevin down there, and of course Ryan Villapoto not with us this weekend either. So
well, Lisa Leyland is down on the grid. I believe Dean Wilson and Romain Febvre are guests.
In fact,
As you can see, it's pretty sandy here, and it takes a certain type of style to ride a track like this. And one man that seems to have it down is Roman Febvre. Roman, currently you're still a rookie in MXGP, but so far you're fourth in the championship. You got your first podium victory last weekend. Are you surprised at just how well you are fitting into this class?
Yeah, I surprised myself as well. It's been a difficult winter for me with some injuries, so we work still. We still make a good job before my injury, and then the team, it's amazing. The bike also, and I try to do my best every time I go on the bike, and then I got already some good results. That's a good point.
Best qualifying result yesterday as well. You passed Sean right at the end in the last few laps when he made a mistake. What happened?
Yeah, I don't know. I was thinking he's still in front of me when I came, so he made a mistake. I don't see him what he did, so but it was better for me, one place less.
Good luck for today. Thanks, Roman. And over here to my left, I have Dean Wilson, who's Supercross and Motocrosser. Hi, Dean. How's it going?
Yeah, good, thanks. Just here checking out how you do it at the GPs, so yeah, it's good.
Are you enjoying it so far?
Yeah, for sure. It's actually quite fun. I came for an operation with Dr. Klaas 2 days ago. I didn't even realize the race was here. And it just like all worked out. It's 40 minutes from where I was from, so yeah, I came to check it out, and obviously I have a lot of friends racing, so come and cheer them on.
So you have a lot of friends racing, so you have to be pretty diplomatic with the next answer. Who's your money on? Who are you supporting today?
Well, I've got friends in this class, so I got to keep it, mutual. But obviously I want, my mate Tommy to do well, Tommy Searle and Sean Simpson, and I think Cairoli's going to be a big threat to win the race, and I think Paulin's going to be good too. So yeah, it's going to be good racing.
Well, hopefully the rain will hold out as well. Enjoy your day, Dean.
Thank you.
Thank you. Time now for the MXGP Championship standings.
MXGP Championship looks like this then. Clement de Salle on 171, Nagel and Cairoli tied, look, just 1 point in it between the top three. Then Febvre, Paulin, Ryan Villapoto, obviously absent this weekend due to the crash. Then he picked up in Trentino, Evgeny Bobryshev and Todd Waters, Van Horbik-Knight and Davide Guarnieri. Here is Gauthier Paulin leading the riders out then on his HRC Honda. Tony Cairoli second, Febvre third. That's how the riders qualified yesterday, of course. More on that in just a moment. Before we get underway here with MXGP Race 1, let's see what happened in MXGP qualifying on Saturday afternoon. 5-second ball turned. The gate eventually dropped. On board here with Antonio Cairoli. Had a quick look left, quick look right. But it was Gauthier Paulin, HRC, number 21, who pulled the whole shot. Sean Simpson was right there behind him in second. De Salle was there in third, just ahead of Tony Cairoli on board here in fourth place. De Salle having a moment, not here, but entering the wave section. Out of this right-hander, back end got a little bit loose and violent on him. Managed to stay up on that first lap. That would have been messy. Sure, Tony wouldn't have minded though. But towards the end of the first lap, they started to spread out, and De Salle had a big crash here on the finish line jump. Just got it completely wrong, and he was out of third position at that point, and he would eventually rejoin and get back to 11th. But Gauthier Paulin was disappearing at the head of the field from Sean Simpson, Tony Cairoli, Bobryshev, Coldenhoff, and the 461 of Roman Febvre. Rattray was in there as well, so too was Max Nagel and Philip Bengtson. Tommy Searle going through in 10th in the early stages of qualifying in MXGP. Gauthier Paulin, of course, a race winner here in Moto number 1 last year, when he was, of course, riding for Kawasaki. He was just doing everything right. Looked silky smooth. Behind him, Nagel struggling to find pace with the likes of Roman Febvre and the 28 of Tyler Rattray. Even Evgeny Bobryshev for much of the race. There was Bobryshev just going through. Always looked pretty good in fourth, started fourth, and that was eventually where he finished, but Nagel carved his way down the inside of Coldenhoff. That got him up into 8th place, just around about the midway point of the race. There'd been a little bit of rain in the MX2 qualifying race, but great conditions, as you see the commitment there from Gauthier Paulin. Simpson came under pressure, didn't get the drive coming through the Dragon's Back rhythm section. Got hung up on one of the waves. Tony Cairoli was able to triple. Simpson wasn't able to. He had to settle for the double. And Cairoli was then up into second position, leaving Simpson there in third. So with those three disappearing, Bobryshev was still in fourth place, but he was starting to get caught by Roman Febvre, who'd found his way clear of the number 28 of Tyler Rattray. Clement Desailly battling on from outside the top 25. Eventually, as we've said, got back to 11th place, but Gauthier Paulin just looked impressive in the sand yesterday in qualifying. Be a completely different racetrack in a few moments' time with all the action that we've had out on track, but Paulin was... He barely put a wheel wrong, really. Tony Cairoli tried to take the challenge to him, but was also just happy to sit there in second, knowing that that's going to be a decent enough pick. And that's the difference with Tony Cairoli. He doesn't have to go after the win in qualifying. Sean Simpson, comfortable in third place until about 3 laps to go. Lost the front end just over the camel's back, and handlebars were snatched out of his hands. Febvre went through, Bobryshev went through, Simpson remounted in 5th, and that's where he would stay. So Roman Febvre and Bobryshev handed a little bit of a gift there, actually, picking up 3rd and 4th respectively. There is Sean Simpson in that 5th place. Tyler Rattray had a good qualifying. He came home in 6th on the Monster Energy Kawasaki. 7th was Max Nagel on the Red Bull Ice 1 Husqvarna. Koldenhoff on the Suzuki was 8th, Philipp Arts 9th, and Bengtson 10th, but an easy win in the end for Gauthier Paulin. Gauthier Paulin will line up first then as a result of his qualifying race win. His first pole for Honda, his first of the season as well. And his first since Maggiora 2013, believe it or not. And on that occasion, he raced to victory. Tony Cairoli was 2nd, he'll go to the line 2nd. Febvre 3rd, Bobryshev 4th, Simpson 5, Rattray 6, Nagel 7, Koldenhoff 8, Philipp Arts 9, and Philipp Bengtson 10. Clement Desailly goes to line 11th, and there he is. Just getting a bit of a pep talk then from his mechanic, Mark Verpaulen. Kenneth Eicher, 12th. Dean Ferris, for 111, was 13th. And Tommy Searle, 14th, with Jose Boutron, 15th. Riders just making their way into position. Just behind Jose Boutron was Tano Leoc, Christophe Charlier, Xavier Bourg, Stephen Frossard, and Davide Guarnieri. As we look at Clement Desailly on the Rockstar Energy Suzuki World MXGP, he is the current championship leader. That's why he has that red number plate on the front of that yellow Suzuki. But he's only won one moto, hasn't won a GP this year. That man there, though, number 12, Max Nagel, Red Bull Ice 1 Husqvarna Factory Racing, has won 3 out of the first 4 rounds so far. But his round in Thailand, which left him losing quite a few points to Tony Cairoli, means he now only has, well, he's 2nd in the championship, tied with Tony Cairoli. He's 1 point off of the lead. So he can win all of those Grand Prix and still not lead the GP series. Todd Waters had a tough qualifying. Barely made it around the first lap before calling it a day. But you see him there right on the left-hand side as the riders make their way to the grid, so he will be the last rider to make his way forward. Rui Gonçalves pulling in alongside Ulrich Lupino. The number 8 of Van der Straten. 39 there, Guarnieri. 183 Frossard. 121 Bourg, Charlier, Leoc, Tommy Searle, Ferris, Desailly there. Bengtson 19 and 12 for Philipp Arts and Nagel. And then Paulin, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 gates down from that left-hand side. It's a short-ish start straight into a very fast but very narrow left-hand, right-hand chicane combination. Lots of Max Nagel supporters here. As we said, he's had 3 Grand Prix victories out of the first 4 rounds. And Max Nagel will be in confident mood, but he was only good enough for 7th yesterday in a qualifying race. But we've seen him do that before in qualifying as well. And if he gets a good start, you cannot bet against the German. Ingo Parch, our race director, signals for the 5-second board. Kenny Bobryshev nearest the camera. And it's Gauthier Paulin, or is it Cairoli? It's Max Nagel. Nagel gets the foxhole shot coming out of the first turn. And Tony Cairoli right there with him. Paulin in third position. So Paulin third, Febvre fourth. Looks like Bengtson in fifth, Bobryshev sixth, Dessau in seventh. Good recovery for Dessau as they drop through the wave section, heading at the bottom of the end of the hill there. Is that, looks like Rattray's got a good start as well, possibly. We'll have to wait and see when they drop back down the hill, but Max Nagel, number 12, a little bit out of shape there. Paulin now second, Cairoli third, Bengtson fourth, Febvre fifth, Bobryshev sixth as they head up the hill for the first time. Nagel, obviously the guinea pig here at race speed, just having to try and pick and find his way. That's where someone like Tony Cairoli, and I think that was that Bengtson that just binned it in the corner? I think it might have been. So the good start that Philip Bengtson had, he's just left it, buried it. There he goes, right down the bottom of the screen. So Philip Bengtson throws away that fifth place, just ran it too wide in the berm, buried the front end, went down. He's now got a lot of work to do on that 24 MX Honda. So Cairoli third, Febvre fourth, Bobryshev around the outside in fifth on that red Honda in the background, the second Honda. Waiting for him to come into view. There is Max Nagel, your race leader. Well, Gauthier Paulin, with the race that he put in yesterday, he will know that he's got the legs and he's looking to go through here. Very, very close, triples his way through. And at the end of the first lap, Gauthier Paulin takes the lead from Max Nagel. Nagel had a quick look over his shoulder to see who it was. So Paulin, Nagel, Cairoli, Bobryshev, Febvre 5, Dessau 6, Rattray 7, Simpson 8, Philipparts 9, Coldenhoff 10, Charlier 11, De Dijker 12, Rossard, Boutron, Surlis 15, Ferris 16, Bengtson, Guarnieri, De Wolf and Lupino, with Xavier Borg just outside the points in 21st. Todd Waters is 23rd. Martin Barr is 29th and Rui Gonçalves in 30th position. Cairoli making an early move on Max Nagel to the left, and he goes through on the German. So Honda, KTM, Husqvarna now. And Cairoli doesn't want to hang around. It's been muted that coming into here with only 1 point deficit to the championship leader, Clément Dessau. Dessau, who's currently in 6th place. Tony Cairoli senses this is an opportunity to not only win a Grand Prix for the first time this year, but win another race or two and walk away from here with the championship leader's red plate. Max Nagel would love to have something to say about that, though. So too would Gauthier Paulin. So this is going to be a real test now for these guys, a real war of attrition, and Febvre's out. Febvre goes out of 5th place. Todd Waters goes through. That gives you some idea. Waters was in 23rd position as he went through on the number 47 Red Bull Ice One Husqvarna. Already ejected over the top of the hillside there, Romain Febvre. Seen that quite a lot in MX2 already. It's happening to him in MXGP. Tony Cairoli then starts to try to put some distance between himself and Max Nagel. There's a big panic rev there from Gauthier Paulin as he just slightly overjumps the monster energy finish line. Clément Dessau, Rockstar Energy Suzuki, World MXGP. Hasn't always had the best of luck here. Clément Dessau, 4th last year with 2 4th place finishes, 7th in 2013 with an 8th in the 5th. His best ever result came in 2012 when he got 2 seconds for 2nd overall. Of course, that would have been behind Tony Cairoli. Because Cairoli, victorious here every year since 2010. So 5 in a row, he's got 6 in total, looking at going for his 7th victory around this tough Valkenswaard circuit. But there's Paulin, current race leader, HRC, already starting to pick off riders who might have fallen on the early lap of the race. Clément Dessau going after Evgeny Bobryshev, hoping to pick off 4th place on his Suzuki. That was where Romain Febvre crashed just a moment ago. But looking good yesterday in qualifying and looking equally impressive today in the early stages of this race. Here's Gauthier Paulin. Sets the fastest lap of the race as well with a, 1:53.3 compared to a 54.3 of Tony Cairoli. Ground a little bit harder over on this part of the circuit, then it starts to get soft again. Back end just getting a little bit loose on the Red Bull KTM of Cairoli as he comes out of that far left-hander. Max Nagel, third. Bobryshev fourth. DeSalle still fifth. Rattray sixth. Simpson on the Hitachi Revo KTM is seventh. Philip Arts eighth. Koldenhoff nine. Christophe Charlier, the 24 MX Honda, is in 10th place. Philip Benson picks himself up after that moment on lap one. He's now in 15th position, just behind Tommy Searle. And it's Tony Cairoli now, 3 seconds off the lead of Gauthier Paulin. He looked this smooth and this impressive yesterday in the qualifying race. Looking good through here as well. Dwarfs that Honda 450 CRF. Gonna be a tough day for these guys, that's for sure. There's Bengtson just going through. There's the 17 of Boutron, so Boutron in 14th position. Tommy Searle, number 100 on the orange KTM. Second rider about to crest the hill there. He's in 15th place. Got Dean Ferris and Davide Guarnieri just behind him. We look at Philip Bengtson, number 11, on that 24 MX Honda. Then Tommy Searle still trying to ride his way back into fitness. Ferris looking to make a move down the inside. Searle, though, just closes the door on the Australian. Ferris just saying yesterday, just do with a little bit of luck. Seems like he's riding okay. And the femur that he broke in Brazil last year in Goiás said it took him a little bit longer than he thought it would to get over, in all fairness. Had quite a bit of pain with it for a while, but doesn't suffer the pain anymore, but just knows that if he gets a decent result, then that'll be half the battle. Needs to get some good starts as well. Not getting those at the moment, Dean Ferris, the Aussie. Boutron goes to the inside on the 17, on the Marchetti Racing KTM. Tommy Searle looking to go around him. Kenda Dyker, we just saw him there, number 9 and 11th. Searle, just here on the left, looks to have found a way past Boutron. Boutron will offer no resistance whatsoever. Next one on the target of Boutron is going to be Dean Ferris. So Ferris, launches to the inside, but then switches it back to the outside. Guarnieri just behind them, number 39 on that blue, that distinctive baby blue TM. Just over there, always wearing that green helmet as well. Here's Davide Guarnieri. But through the rhythms, double, double, triple, if you can get it right. But none of these guys tripling so close together as they cross the line for the third time. Guarnieri switches it to the outside and finds a way past Dean Ferris. So Ferris being pushed back to 17th, Guarnieri up into 16th, and the 111 just struggling to find his rhythm at the moment, Dean Ferris, on that Wilvo, the Star, Husqvarna. Leaders disappearing way down the long straight there. Paulin still 3 seconds clear of Cairoli. Nagel third. Bobryshev fourth. DeSalle for Suzuki is fifth. Rattray's Kawasaki is sixth. Simpson, about 4 seconds further back, is in 7th place as Guarnieri goes after and passes Boutron and gets himself up into 15th. Goes after Tommy Searle, ahead of him on the 100 KTM in 14th place. Philip Arts is at 8th. Glenn Koldenhoff 9th and Charlier 10th. But with 21 minutes plus 2 to go, Paulin is still in control. Cairoli right there in second. A replay of the start, a great one there from Tony Cairoli, but it was Max Nagel about 7 or 8 gates over on that white Husqvarna. Pulled the foxhole shot as he came out, across the stripe, just there. Cairoli's down in the rhythm section towards the finish line. Well, as we said before, this area's been catching out so many riders, and there's DeSalle right in his tail as well. Cairoli, here we go, back end, oh! Catches a horrible kicker. He had no idea that that was coming, and that's going to hurt in the morning as well. Rang his bell there, I would think, because he hit the ground hard there, did Tony Cairoli. Cairoli coming in, repairing the handlebars. So drama then for Tony Cairoli. Cairoli comes in on lap 4. Handlebars bent, bike steaming. And this is drama because at that stage, Cairoli was leading the championship by 2 points. Front wheel bent, he hit a square edge hole in the ground. Handlebars had bent, damage and all sorts. Claudio De Carli saying, come on, let's just keep you calm here. Let's have a look. Tony's just dumped the clutch. Is that it? Tony Cairoli out. Tony Cairoli is out of MXGP race 1. And there is a look of disappointment on the Italian's face right there. Watch this. I thought we were going to go for another replay there from a different angle. So the drama there then, Tony Cairoli has crashed out spectacularly from race 1 here in Valkenswaard at the MXGP of Europe. That is a damaged Red Bull KTM. Drama with Tony Cairoli then, a lap ago, crashing out of 2nd position spectacularly. Bars are damaged, front end is wrecked, bike steaming. He's pulled into the work area and he cannot rejoin the race. Tony Cairoli walks away disconsolately. And that will put an end to his dominance here in Valkenswaard. More importantly, that will rob him of 25 points in the championship chase to Gauthier Paulin at the moment. And that will definitely tighten things up in the fight for the title. Max Nagel at the moment will lead the championship on 192. Sal will go to 2nd on 189. Cairoli will drop to 3rd. He will stay on 183. And Paulin will come up to 153. And he will go 4th. But Tony Cairoli, his history here has been unrivaled, really, apart from that of Jeffrey Hurlings. A winner here last year, 3rd and a 1st. First here in 2013 with a win and a 2nd, a double moto win in 2012, a 1st and a 2nd for the overall win in 2011, and a double moto win again in 2010. 2nd on the 2 previous occasions, so not being off the podium, Tony Cairoli, since 2007, winning every time, apart from those 2 times where he was 2nd in 2008 and 2009. 2008, of course, in MX2. So that streak is going to come to an end, and that is a... well, that is the biggest news since Ryan Villapoto having to pull out of this Grand Prix due to that injury after his crash a week ago. So while Villapoto then is nursing his injury, thinking about points lost and maybe thinking about, well, there goes my championship, that is just a perfect illustration as to how quickly things can turn around. Nagel's had a bogey round, of course, in Thailand. Here is Max Nagel. He now circulates in 2nd position. He won the overall Grand Prix in Qatar, remember, with a perfect score, did Max Nagel, 2 wins out of 2. Then he was 4th and 11 in Thailand, got him 7th overall. He's won the last 2 since then, Argentina and Trentino, but he's not leading the championship, where he wasn't until the first race. He's now in control of the championship if he stays where he is. And Bart, his mechanic there, just giving him the information. What's he got? 16 plus 2. P2 and plus 2 seconds over Evgeny Bobryshev. And there is Bobryshev in the background. So a great showing for Honda in this round. I'm talking to Adam Wheeler on our MXGP TV studio show yesterday, which you can catch on MXGP TV or on YouTube, of course, on our MXGP channel. And we were talking about the pace of the Hondas suddenly starting to find their form. Bobryshev winning a qualifying race last week. Paulin winning one yesterday, and Paulin now well placed in 1st in the opening stages of this race. We've got, 15 3/4 minutes left to run, of course. It's still quite a way to go, but his teammate, Evgeny Bobryshev, riding there in 3rd place. And he also has a good history here. Does Bobby? Got 2nd here. 3rd here, with a 2nd and a 4th 2 years ago in what has been his best result around here. So talk about a championship that's being turned up on its head in 2015. We said it would be a close one. We said that things would go to plan and sometimes wouldn't. And Gauthier Paulin, well, he can't do any more than he's doing. There's Stephen Frossard, 183. He's in 10th place on that Wilvo Fort Brent KTM. He's got Philip Bengtsson just behind him in 11th, riding the number 11 on the 24 MX Honda. But let's just give you a rundown with 15 minutes to go. Paulhan leads, Nagel second. The gap between Paulhan and Nagel on the Honda and the Husqvarna respectively now 9.2 seconds. Evgeny Bobryshev on the Honda is third. Desao Suzuki is fourth. Rattray's Kawasaki is fifth. Simpson on the KTM is sixth. Koldenhoff Suzuki is seventh. Charlier eighth. Didika ninth. And Frossard battling over 10th with this guy behind him, Philip Bengtsson, number 11. Tommy Searle is in 12th place now. Davide Guarnieri is 13th. Romain Fevre is 14th after picking himself up. Dean Ferris is 15th. Todd Waters 16th. Xavier Bourg, Alessandro Lupino, Tano Leop and Jose Boutron, your top 20 riders. But the news is Tony Cairoli crashing out spectacularly. He picked himself up through this section here, but he could not rejoin the race. He went to pit lane. The bike was steaming, the handlebars were bent, the front wheel, maybe the disc was all damaged. And you can see one of the mechanics down there as well. He got his head in his hands, thinking, is that how or not, is that the title? Not at round 5, but how expensive would that mistake be? We've seen Cairoli, 2 DNFs in Sweden a couple of years ago, lose the championship leaders red plate to Desau, and bounce back and won almost every race and every GP after that to make sure that he won the title. So there's a guy who does know how to win titles and keep cool under pressure. But this was his round where he really wanted to shine, where he'd say, right, 5 wins without a Grand Prix victory. 1 win in the whole of the campaign so far in terms of race wins. This is where he wanted to pick up the Grand Prix victory, get his championship back on track, take over the leaders' plate and head to Spain in 2 weeks' time as the new championship leader, and that has not gone to plan. And of course the track is going to be so much rougher, so much more chewed up for the second race as well. Things that the riders learn in this part of the race, the second half of the race, where the settings of the bike, the suspension, gearing or whatever, how they were at the start of the race, how you ended up at the second of the race, and the things that you want to tweak a little bit more is just losing that little bit of knowledge now. Koldenhoff having a good ride. 259 in 7th position, the MXGP rookie. There's Bengtsson still looking at going after the 183 of Stephen Frossard. Frossard still there in 10th. Bengtsson in 11th. Here is Stephen Frossard. Frossard twice has been third here. There's Rattray, a winner here in 2008 in MX2 with a perfect score. That was, of course, his MX2 World Championship winning season as well for Tyler Rattray. Second on 2 occasions. Although he was 6th here last year with a couple of 7th place finishes. Right, there's Sean Simpson. Sitting there just behind Rattray. What are the lap times between these two guys then? Simpson being urged on, the air horns. Very British. Come to a Motocross of Nations or a British Grand Prix. The air horns are there in their thousands, supporting the English and British riders. But Simpson, a 1:58.3 compared to a 59.3, so he was a full second quicker than Tyler Rattray that time around. So this is a battle that we're going to keep an eye on now then. Because Tyler Rattray, Monster Energy Kawasaki, the lone rider for Kawasaki Racing Team. Simpson, 1.5. Tyler is yours. That was a message from his brother Steph. Good to see him on the boards this weekend. Used to mechanic for him a couple of years ago in his MX2 days, but decided to take life a bit more seriously, get married and settle down and all the rest of it. Just ducks his head down, avoids a little bit of roost off the Kawasaki of Tyler Rattray. And Sean Simpson, currently 11th in the championship. Best result so far this year, 7th in the opening race of the year in Qatar. Could do with just turning things around here on that Hitachi Construction Machinery Revo KTM. Current championship leader as well in the British Championship, which the next round is this weekend. Canada Heights, so we want to get through here as well. get through there and pick up points to defend that. Just got hung up there on a bump going through that little right-hander, though. There's Glenn Koldenoff in the background, the 2.59 on the Rockstar Energy Suzuki. He's in 7th, so that's the gap between Simpson and Koldenoff, with the Dyker about another, 5 or 6 seconds further back. The lead Red Bull KTM rider now actually in the race at the demise of Antonio Cairoli a few laps ago on lap 4. Will Simpson have an answer for Tyler Rattray? Paulin 12.5 seconds clear of Max Nagel at the moment, so HRC looking at picking up what will be their first race win of the year. Remember, Max Nagel picked up some wins and Grand Prix victories for him last year, so it hasn't been that long since the last Honda victory. Paulin's own last victory, though, did come at the final round at Mexico in Leon. So overdue a win, you would think. Get this first race out of the way, though, because he won the first race here last year. That corner in the background is what cost him any chance of a podium, let alone a Grand Prix victory last year. Came in a little bit too hot, lost the front, went down hard, got hit by 1 or 2 riders, ended up doing a thumb and a shoulder injury, a collarbone, and that was his championship done. So he decided to sit out until he was fully healed, and even had one eye on 2015 as well. But there's Bobryshev, he's in 3rd. What a great day for Honda at the moment, HRC. There's his teammate, Gauthier Paulin. 14 seconds clear of Max Nagel. Looking to pick up Nagel. Here he is, number 12, Red Bull Ice One Husqvarna Factory Racing. He will jump to the top of the World Championship standings in MXGP if he stays where he is. He will go to 192. To Sal, who is 4th in the race, will be just 3 points behind him on 189. So there'll be not too much cause to celebrate, because you know you've got another race to do. Bobryshev just sit it down there in that bottom corner. Looked like he was definitely cruising, but looks okay now, though. So 7.5 minutes to go. Paulin leads, but Nagel in 2nd, looking at taking the lead in the championship. Nagel leaps back into view then. I'm just hearing that Davide Guarnieri is out. We've got yellow flags here on the run-in towards the finish line area. I'm just wondering if that's where Guarnieri has gone missing. Disappeared off of our leaderboard. So the TM factory rider, who was pushing for a top 10 position. He was in and around that battle with Romain Febvre, Stephen Frossard, Tommy Searle. So Guarnieri going out then with about 6.5, 7 minutes to go. This is what Gauthier Paulin did so well yesterday. Got a great start and settled into a rhythm straight away. And he was unflustered. And he said he felt really good on the bike, had a good rhythm. The team, of course, working so hard during the winter, trying to get this bike set up. Not always easy jumping teams. And when you do jump teams, you're always expected to pick up and get the same results. So impressive this from Gauthier Paulin. Got a 3rd in the 2nd moto. Oh, that's Guarnieri down on the deck just before the finish line. So another rider there getting caught out through that rhythm section towards the finish line area. There's Tommy Searle going through in 12th position.
To bring it home for the number 21.
So as Tommy Searle went through there just a moment ago, we got a glimpse then of a rider down, which we assume to be the number 39 TM of Davide Guarnieri, which would be tough for him because Guarnieri was 10th in the championship standings. And he was knocking on the door for breaking inside the top 10. 8th overall last week in Trentino at home. There's Paulin just coming through, keeping wheels on the ground. Yellows waved over the crest. Looks like Guarnieri is off the side of the track, but medical personnel are there. And Charlier. So Christophe Charlier then, the 24 MX Honda rider, going out of the points as he stalls the bike, maybe falls off of the bike at the end, and Simpson's gone through. So Simpson finds a way past the number 28 of Tyler Rattray. So Simpson then up in the 5th position as Rattray moves back a position. Charlier rejoins the race. Jeffrey DeWolf, though, local rider, number 212, picking up what would be a point at the moment from Belgium. But Paulin, Nagel, Bobryshev, DeSalle, they top 4. Simpson now goes through in 5th. Rattray goes through in 6th. Koldenhoff having a good ride in 7th place. And just checking Koldenhoff, 8th in the second moto in Argentina, so this will be the best result of the year for him. And Clement DeSalle, well, he'll know that Cairoli is out, and he'll know that if he's out, then he can just pick up points here, and that is what you call damage limitation as well. DeSalle proving once again how to be consistent. This track, though, so brutal. You can race it, but if you race it too hard, it will punish you, unless, of course, you're Jeffrey Hurlings. These guys just trying to pick their way through. It is brutal out there. It really is. These guys as well don't look like they're going that quick, but believe me, when you're stood trackside and they're pulling out of those corners, as Charlier comes in, Steve Letani there on the right-hand side, team owner for that 24 MX Honda. Just getting a brief from one of the mechanics, finding out what's gone on as a result of Charlier. Whether it was a crash or whether it was just a simple stall. If it was a stall, then a potential technical issue that the team might have to work on, but hopefully nothing too serious. But just over 3 minutes to go. Sean Simpson has just bided his time. He's got himself in the 5th. He's about 10 seconds down on Clement DeSalle. Of course, still in a great position to get himself on a podium. He was on a podium in Belgium last year, before we headed off to the 2 flyaway races. Got 3rd overall in the tough sand at Lommel. Making his way back towards the finish line area. Easily over the Ippon. Step down. Those yellows are still waving for the downed Guarnieri. Cairoli will go to 170 points. His points at the moment, 170. So he'll be 19 points off. 192 Max Nagel. DeSalle 189, so 3 points between those. Tony Cairoli will be 19 points further back in 3rd place, and the 153 of Gauthier Paulin sees him getting a little bit closer to Tony Cairoli, of course, edging closer to Max Nagel, only albeit by 3 points at this stage of the race. So this is going to be about 3.5 laps to go then. We've got 1:43 on the clock. It'll be very close though, because Paulin, 10.3 seconds clear of Max Nagel as he heads down the back straight. Paulin will be coming back in the opposite direction into the bottom right-hander at the end of this next straight. But these guys just riding smart. Tony Cairoli's crash, no fault of his own, maybe just a little bit offline, and just caught a square edge bump at the side of the track and just pinged him straight over the handlebars. Would know nothing about it until he hit it, of course. There is Nagel. So yeah, a minute to go. So it's going to be 3 laps to go then. There's Nagel on the Red Bull Ice 1 Husqvarna. Kimi Räikkönen, the Formula 1 driver, of course, who owns that team, is here this weekend on a rare weekend off. Buoyed by the fact that his team has won 3 out of the first 4 Grand Prix. He'll be even more pleased at the moment with Nagel leading the World Championship, but these guys, they know what it's like at the top, at the sharp end. They know not to get carried away. Paulin has just been immaculate. His tall, rangy frame, long arms, long legs, just helping him suck up everything out on that track. And the boys at HRC obviously doing a great job getting that bike prepped as well. It was good yesterday, equally on song today. Hasn't missed a beat. And to have Bobryshev, his teammate, pretty much right in there, almost as a wingman for him in third place, albeit 22 seconds off of the pace. It's been a great display from the mighty Japanese firm this weekend in Holland. Didn't have any hang-ups on the crash in that corner, the one that's just been through yesterday in the post-race conference yesterday. Said it happens, you're going to crash. Evgeny Bobryshev just getting a little bit out of shape. Doesn't look much, does it? Did he lay it down? Oh, it's like a hill climb there, when it saves it though. Good save in the end for Bobryshev. Paulin goes through, 2 laps to go. 158.4 that time around. And he can afford to save some energy, a walk in the park. Max Nagel 14 seconds further back, but he would have got a little bit of breathing space as Evgeny Bobryshev made that mistake just half a lap ago. Up over the crest on the far side. Yeah, that gap now out to 26 seconds between Paulin and Bobryshev. 12 seconds further back is Bobryshev behind this guy here, Max Nagel, though. So Nagel having a great 2015 campaign. DeSalle still hanging on there in 4th position, so the podium place is still up for grabs. Any one of these top 5, Paulin, Nagel, Bobryshev, DeSalle, Simpson, maybe even Rattray, if there's a freak occurrence out on the track in the second race. Remember, the rain that we've not had or expected to have hasn't showed up, but on our little chart, it's showing maybe around about 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock this afternoon. So anywhere between there, the clouds are set to go dark and the rain is set to fall, but looks like we'll get through the first MXGP race without getting wet. But you can see it's getting darker out there on track. These guys riding. There's Paulin just taking a quick look across to see who that flash of machine was in the opposite direction. Was it Nagel? The answer was no, it wasn't. Coming round to take the 1 lap board then. Number 21, Gauthier Paulin, Team HRC. Up on the pegs, picking his way through. Still tripling his way. The 1 lap board goes out over the Monster Energy finish line jump now. Again, another impressive lap, a 159.6. Definitely been consistent as Paulin. But a 153.3 at the start of the race gives you some idea as to how the track has slowed. Quick pull of the roll off there. Long look at the pit board, taking the shortest route to the first corner. Staying out of the heavy stuff as well. But just picking his way nice and neatly through those holes. There's Nagel, still there, 16 seconds adrift. Bobryshev, he knows he's got 3rd place in the bag now, just needs to stay upright. There is Bobryshev.
It will be ice racing, Red Bull, Husqvarna factory racing.
So 21, Paulin. Just in a class of his own. Nice and cool, calm, composed as he heads up over the hill where caught his teammate out just a lap ago. Evgeny Bobryshev caught out Roman Febvre as well. Febvre now circulating in 11th place. So as we get around halfway around this final lap, Gauthier Paulin is still clear in the lead. That's him we're looking at on screen. Max Nagel is 2nd, Bobryshev 3rd, DeSalle for Suzuki is 4th, Sean Simpson only 5 seconds further back in 5th. Tyler Rattray on the Kawasaki is 6th. The French fans are loving what they see here as their hero passes through over on the far side of the circuit. Koldenhoff for the Netherlands is 7th. De Dijker is 8th. Bengtson is 9th. And Frossard is 10th. Roman Febvre is 11th. Tommy Searle is now 12th. Todd Waters 13th. Good points on the board for the Aussie. Xavier Borg is 14th. Ding Ferris 15th. Then it's Jose Boutron, Alex Lupino, Tano Leok, Jeffrey DeWolf, and Angus Heideke in 20th. But coming out of the final turn, just like he did yesterday in the qualifying race, Gauthier Paulin, Team HRC, and Honda make their way towards the finish line, and Gauthier Paulin will take victory in Moto number 1, his first on Honda his first for HRC, and he has put himself in pole position for a potential Grand Prix victory here this weekend. Max Nagel up over the line in second for Red Bull Ice One Husqvarna Factory Racing. That's good points on the board for him, and he now goes to the top of the World Championship standings in MXGP by 3 points as it stands at the moment over Clément de Sal, who we wait to come over the line in fourth. There's number 777, Evgeny Bobryshev, so a Honda 1-3, HRC 1-3. A great day for them so far. So Bobryshev takes third. We wait for Clément de Sal to come through in fourth. He does so, and then also Sean Simpson takes fifth. But they see Gauthier Paulin. Here he is with Lisa Leyland.
Gauthier, congratulations. You haven't won a race since Mexico last year, and it's your first on a Honda. You look quite relieved, and it must be a special moment.
Yeah, my ski is really good today. We've been working so hard with all the HRC crew. Thanks, buddy. And now it's just a pleasure now to ride at my level. You know, let's do it at the second Moto 2. And yeah, just it's hard when you can't ride at your level. And right now I made it, so it's getting better each round, and kind of happy right now and good feeling. I'm happy to find this back.
Great job. Good luck for that second moto.
And a congratulatory hug there from Jean-Michel Bayle as well. Overheard him in the media centre yesterday saying, we are getting there, we're getting in the right direction. Well, they definitely took the right direction today. Victory and 25 points here in race one. Confirmation then of MXGP Race 1, MXGP of Europe here at Valkenswaard. Gauthier Paulin wins it, picks up 25 points from Max Nagel second, Evgeny Bobryshev third, Clément de Sal fourth, Sean Simpson, Tyler Rattray, Glenn Koldenoff, Ken de Dijker, Philip Bengtson and Roman Fevre. Frossard was 11th, Tommy Searle was 12th, Todd Waters, Xavier Bourg, Dean Ferris and Jose Boutron with Alex Lupino, Tano Leo, Angus Edeka and Dennis Ulrich, but no points on the board for Tony Cairoli. That is the big story here in MXGP Race 1. He was there challenging for second position, challenging for the lead actually with Gauthier Paulin, with Max Nagel just behind him in third. And here is Max Nagel and Kimi Räikkönen actually there talking to him. So Nagel then climbs to the top of the World Championship standings by 3 points over de Sal. Cairoli, no change for him, but he loses ground. Paulin up to fourth, Fevre drops one to fifth, and Villapoto not here this weekend, sixth. Then it's Bobryshev just behind him. And then Todd Waters, Sean Simpson up to ninth now. And Jeremy Van Hoorbeek, of course, broken foot, absent this weekend. He is in 10th. Manufacturers, World Championship standings look like this. Husqvarna on top, 7 points clear of Suzuki, KTM, Honda, Yamaha, Kawasaki and TM. 7 manufacturers in the manufacturers standings. Right, let's take a quick recap then as to what happened here, MXGP of Europe, race 1 in MXGP. The gate dropped and it was just by the smallest of margins, Max Nagel, Red Bull Ice One Husqvarna Factory Racing that pulled the foxhole shot. Tony Cairoli was there in second, Paulin third, Fevre fourth, Bengtson was fifth. Bobryshev was in there in sixth, just ahead of Clément de Sal. Slight bobble at the bottom of the hill there from Max Nagel, but by the end of the lap, Gauthier Paulin was right into his stride charged past Max Nagel and into the lead. Behind them, Davide Guarnieri was pushing, found his way past Ferris, and then in quick succession also past the number 17 of Jose Boutron. But on lap 4, Cairoli caught an edge and went crashing out of second position. He picked himself up, went straight to the work area, tried to straighten out that machine, but it was not quite terminal, but he was unable to rejoin. The front end was bent, the wheel was bent, the disc was probably damaged, the handlebars were bent, the throttle possibly damaged. There was steam coming out of everywhere when he got it back down to the work area as well. And Tony Cairoli was a disappointed rider, as were the rest of the Red Bull KTM crew. But Sean Simpson was closing in on Tyler Rattray for that battle for 5th place, and eventually the Scots there, number 24 on the Hitachi Revo KTM, would eventually find his way through, pushing the South African Monster Energy Kawasaki rider back down into 6th place, as De Sal was just ahead of them in 4th place. With Cairoli out of the race, Max Nagel was a comfortable 2nd place on his Red Bull Ice 1 Husqvarna. Gauthier Paulin gradually opening up a lead to the tune of around about 17 seconds over the rest of the field. So Paulin, Nagel, Bobryshev, that's how it was in the closing stages. De Sal 4th, Simpson and Rattray rounding out the top 6, with Koldenhoff 7th, De Dijker 8th, Bengtson 9th, and Roman Fevre, after picking himself up from a mistake, eventually got his way back into 10th. But Tony Cairoli out of the race. So too was the 23 of Charlier, dropped out of the points with what looked to be a possible technical problem with that 24 MX Honda. But the track here at Valkenswaard, absolutely brutal. These guys having to respect it. Gauthier Paulin did that very, very well indeed. And he just rode with a cool, calm head. Didn't put a wheel wrong, didn't make any mistakes, and his teammate was well placed as well. He was pretty clean until this moment. Saw him just legging his way over the crest of the hill. But Paulin was already celebrating with a couple of corners to go, and the HRC Honda rider was relieved to cross the Monster Energy finish line, having picked up a win, his first for Honda, his first for HRC, and his first in 2015 by more than 17 seconds. Nagel was 2nd, Bobryshev was 3rd. But at the start of that race, of course, the MXGP riders charged into turn 1, and it was Max Nagel, Red Bull Ice 1 factory Husqvarna factory racing, grabbed the foxhole shot just ahead of Cairoli. And it will be Max Nagel that waits down in the wings to collect his black plate from Dennis van Boerdragen, the Fox dealer here. So another one on the board for Max Nagel. It's 5 now for the German. So what a dramatic MXGP race 1 then. Max Nagel jumps to the top of the World Championship standings in MXGP. He climbs to 192. Clement de Sal finds himself 2nd, 189, and Tony Cairoli on 170, having not picked up points in that first race. Gauthier Paulin, though, is now 4th after a win. That's all we've got time for. We'll be back in about an hour's time. MX2, race 2. We hope you can join us then. Bye for now.